Welcome back, my beautiful sinners, to another great and amazing video with your boy, the Savior. That's right, we're back at it again, fighting this disgusting dystopia. It's been a while since I've discussed the future dystopia and just how far we are heading into this bleak future dystopia, which is so transparent, and pretty much I'm one of the only YouTubers who ever talks about this, and I find this is a very important discussion to have. And finally, more YouTubers and more people in general are picking up on the fact that we are heading towards a future dystopia. We are heading towards this digital future dystopian society. We are already seeing it with our own governments, and especially within China. And today, my sinners, we will discuss the robotic future dystopia, which isn't stuff of sci-fi. This is actually reality. This is stuff that is going on that no one really knows about. So my sinners, if you enjoy this content and if you believe that this fight is worth fighting, then I urge you to join the channel and subscribe if you're new, and support me by becoming a member today for extra content, shoutouts, and collabs. Support me by becoming a member, that would really help me out a great deal, and check out my music on any music platform. Thank you very much. It's dystopian synth-based music, and I'm sure you will like it. Now today, my sinners, that's right, we are discussing the robotic future dystopia, the future of robots, this dystopian robot future that we are heading towards very, very rapidly. Now, like I said, we are already seeing AIs and algorithms take over our lives. Big tech pretty much collects all of our data and information now, and they sell it on to pretty much any company. That's how we are always targeted with advertisers. If you ever talk about something with one of your friends or your girlfriend or whatever, you'll realize that actually the next time you check your phone, the exact thing that you were talking about will come up in an advert. That's because you are constantly being tracked. All of your information is constantly being monitored. That is what cookies are. That is what all of these tracking services are worldwide, especially when you use the internet. So we are constantly being targeted, and using these free social media websites like Facebook and Twitter, actually the cost is your soul, your identity, okay? So pretty much, yes, you're not paying for the service, but what you are giving them is all of your information, and then this is how they collect information on humanity. This is how they update and improve AI algorithms, and then this is how AI algorithms will basically one day dominate us in the future. Like I said, algorithms are now massively in place worldwide, and we see them constantly pretty much with whatever we do, because we are heading towards a digital society, because that is what these big corporations want. They want us living in a digital society inside of VR, AR, constantly hooked up to the internet and technology, because it's easier for them to manage the information and control the masses that way. So that is pretty much where we are heading, especially with currency as well. It's all becoming digital. So robots, they are a little bit interesting to me, because yes, we are heading towards this future digital dystopia, and that is very obvious to me, and I urge people to join this channel, because we really do have to keep this fight going. We really have to keep the freedom of humanity alive. And you may think, Savior, you're crazy, you're going over the top, this is not some kind of Terminator future that we are living in. And you're right, Sonny Jim, okay? You know, okay, I'll calm down a little bit, but let me tell you this. We have seen technology rapidly improve so much in the last 20 years. Just go back 20 years ago. It was a completely different world. We are now living in the times of sci-fi. It's only because you're living in the present that you don't notice the rapid growth. But humanity has reached a critical point, and if technology keeps going forwards like this, and we don't use it correctly as a tool, as something that we can control, and it ends up controlling us, which is highly likely, or the people making this technology, the big tech corporations and governments who are basically working together, that is how society will be influenced and controlled by machines, by technology, instead of the other way around, with us using it and using it for the purposes of development and pushing humanity forwards in the right direction. The problem with humans is once we found something new and addictive, like our smartphones for example, we become completely addicted to the technology, and now you don't see anyone without a mobile phone, always constantly glued to them. So in the future, it's just going to get more and more crazy with implants, with VR and AR. It's just, all it takes is a technology to basically become mainstream, and then it's hooked in forever. and with technology rapidly improving, this is 100% going to happen, so it is really a major problem. Do you want a pro-human spirit future where we work together as humanity and actually try and achieve stuff, or do you want a future where we are consumed by technology, by big tech corporations, limiting our freedom and limiting what we can actually do within the world, and expanding our knowledge and keeping us all in our little primitive boxes and not developing ourselves further and basically becoming super domesticated, lazy slobs that only experience things through digital technology? To me, that doesn't sound like a good future. This is a serious thing, my sinners. So, the digital dystopia, yes, it is here. It's very clear that it's here, and that is why you should join this channel, to keep the resistance going, to join the fight, join the savior community, because we can make a difference. We will not let them destroy our spirit completely, okay? But the thing is, these systems and AI algorithms, the dangerous ones, are now in place already. Companies like Amazon are already putting these dystopian future AI algorithms in place in their companies, and they are abusing their workers, okay? This is so clearly transparent now, and the thing is, people just ignore it, you know? If you want a smartphone, it doesn't matter if it's made in a third world country by a bunch of children. People are disgusting. We have literally been consumed by domesticated consumer capitalism and materialism. You have to wake up and you have to take back control of your life and not be ruled by this dystopia, because that's only the small start, and it's only going to get more insane and rapidly disgusting and degenerative as we move forwards, okay? So, if you're not aware, the lovely company Amazon, do you know what they're doing? Well, they're literally setting goals, algorithmic goals. They are setting goals for their workers, which sounds like a perfectly harmless thing. But the thing is, it's run by algorithms and machines, and you don't hit your quota for hitting these goals. And it doesn't matter if you're sick, it doesn't matter if you can't work that day. If you don't work like a goddamn machine, they will just fire you and they will replace you, because funny enough, you can be replaced so easily because there aren't enough jobs anymore. And Amazon is literally abusing its workers by tracking them constantly, by taking their identity away, and by giving them these algorithmic goals that they can't possibly reach, and then if they can't reach it, they just get replaced. It's very, very disturbing. Make no mistake, my sinners, the future dystopia really is here, and like I said, this is already now very clear within our own governments, okay? You know, there are so many regulations now that we have to abide by, even if they don't make much sense. And it is all becoming very dystopian, especially using online, having our freedom of speech being limited and taken away, huge amounts of censorship. The core of this dystopia, I believe, really is coming from China, okay? Their social credit system really is the stuff of nightmares. People don't understand how bad it is. We just always give China a free pass, and they can do all of these disgusting things to their poor citizens, and it really is just so disturbing. And the fact is, China produces most of the things in the world, so funny enough, all of these massive corporations are working with China, and of course, they're not going to go against the Chinese regime. So of course, all of these big tech corporations will slowly implement the Chinese system, and perhaps even our own governments. That's the scary thing. But the social credit system in China really is disturbing. Pretty much, if you work hard and you become a doctor and you have a PhD, but you say something bad about the government, then they can actually strip you, or actually take away your credentials, your university certificate. They will stop you from riding buses, they will stop you from booking trains, they will check up on you in person, police will come to your house. If you are simply criticizing and using your own individual voice to just call out the government and just discuss, basically, just to have an open discussion about how things should be run and how a fair society should look like, you will basically be punished and you will have all of your stuff stripped away. You will be treated like a second-class citizen. You will not be able to go into fun places. You will be restricted with your movement and the places that you can go and the places you can travel to. It really is disgusting. This is the future dystopia we are heading towards. And if our own countries and governments implement this social credit system, we are literally heading into a new dark age of absolute tyranny. And this is very, very disgusting and very disturbing. I mean, people just don't realize how bad it's gotten. That's the problem. People don't do the research. People don't actually look into it. They just brush it off because it doesn't affect them. But actually it does affect you, because we are all humans and we should all care about our fellow humans. But the thing is, most people now have lost all empathy for one another, and they've lost empathy and trust and how to actually have civil conversations and have different opinions and dialogue. This is why humanity is failing. This is why we all need to come together and fight this dystopia, because otherwise we will not progress as a human species. Ooh, get into it. I love the future dystopia. I love being a slave. I love not having any free will. Ooh, I'm dancing, my sinners. I know you can't see me right now because I wanted to show you the dystopian footage, but ooh, I'm just getting really into it. I love being told what to think and what to do 24/7. It makes my life so much easier. So, my sinners, if you're not aware, in China, companies are now implementing this really disgusting dystopian future technology in which a camera scans your face when you go into work, and if you're not smiling at the camera when you enter work, you can't actually enter your work and you will be fired from your job. I'm not joking. I'm seriously not joking. Look it up. This is a real thing. The dystopia really is here. Now, you have to smile when you go and do your little corporation dance. Otherwise, you will not be allowed to work for a lovely company that treats you like absolute garbage. What a time to be alive. The society that we live in now is so disgustingly twisted, okay? We just produce crap, and then people consume this crap so we can produce more shit instead of actually creating something useful and actually pushing humanity forwards. We are just trapped in this consumer capitalist way that keeps us all primitive and enslaved by people much smarter than you. It really is disgusting, and that is not a joke. You actually have to smile at a camera, it scans your face, and if you're not smiling, you can't go to work, okay? That is now a real thing that is happening in China, and it doesn't get more dystopian than that. So, with robots, okay, I'm sorry I went on a massive rant about the dystopian future. It's just been a while, and it's been building up inside of me, so I had to let it out. And we have to keep this fight going, so I urge you to share this video. With robotics, it's a pretty obvious issue. The dystopian robotic future is here, and these future robots are a real problem. Now, yes, Boston Dynamics, they can be used to help humanity and companies, but the thing is, humans should be doing this. Already there aren't enough jobs for the huge number of people living on this earth, and as robotics get more and more advanced, jobs will become even fewer, and we will see a complete replacement of manual labor jobs. These robots are way more stronger, faster, and efficient than a human. A robot doesn't need to sleep, a robot doesn't need to think, a robot doesn't need to worry about its back when it's lifting a heavy object. A robot can pretty much do anything, so manual labor will cease to exist, which means there'll be a massive loss in jobs for the common people. And what I mean by common people, I just mean people with low IQ. That's usually who go into manual labor. Not always, I'm just saying that is usually the case. In the future, is not only will they replace manual labor, but also they will be used for control. They will be used as police. They will be used for the military, which means people can easily become enslaved by people who are controlling the machines. Government can easily use these machines when they are mass produced to control and to monitor its people by patrolling the streets as policemen, and the military can completely dominate if it wants to go tyrannical by using these machines, because funny enough, citizens won't stand a chance fighting robots because, like I said, they're goddamn robots, okay? I mean, that might seem unrealistic, but it is a possibility if they are used as police. And actually, funny enough, like I said, this is not sci-fi, this is actually reality. This is already happening, okay? In countries like Singapore, they are already using Boston Dynamics for the police. Robotics can be useful. For example, if you've lost a limb, having a cybernetic arm obviously can be very useful, and robots can be useful for navigating dangerous terrain, or, you know, rescuing people who are trapped in a cave or something like that. But replacing human needs and human jobs, that is when it becomes a problem. That is when it becomes dangerous, is when we start seeing them integrated within our greater society, that they can be used to basically dominate its people, like the police, like the military. So that is another huge problem with the future robotic future. And the last and final problem is with human relationships, okay? Humans are now interacting more and more through digital technology, and a lot of people aren't actually interacting in real life. And honestly, I think that's not really a good thing for the human psyche. Yes, it is cool because you can pretty much meet anyone, but it doesn't really help with your basic biological needs as a human. As it stands already, we are seeing a huge separation in the sexes, which is not a good thing. We are being divided because of the mainstream media and social media technologies, and basically relationships are now a little bit more fragmented. So in the future, with these sad kind of simpy men or lonely women, they don't have to worry about it, because guess what? In the future, it's not going to be a problem, because that's right, you're gonna have a robot lover. That's what they want. That's what the disgusting dystopian future wants for you, is to not have real relationships, but to have relationships with goddamn machines, okay? Already, it's a problem. Calling Alexa a she, it's a goddamn machine. But when it becomes a full cyborg woman or man that looks like a woman and a man, but it's actually a robot, and people start having relationships with them, which is what they want, which is what they are already producing in countries like South Korea and Japan and China, then this is the disgusting future that we are heading towards, and I am not going to stand for it. We will fight back, and we're not gonna take it! So, join the fight. We have to stop this disgusting future from taking place, and we will stop it. Just don't engage with it. Live within base reality. Fight it as much as you can where you see it. Call attention to it. Spread the awareness of this future dystopia, and completely disengage yourself from the programming of this future dystopia. Limit yourself with technology. Use it as a tool, and don't become domesticated by this technology. Thank you so much for watching, my sinners. I really hope that you learned something from this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.